What's going on, everybody? Another very special video for you today. Today, I got my friend slash student Paul from Vienna, Austria. And as you guys know, we're going to talk about his journey, his perspective in his email journey, the different things he's learned. But before we get started, man, Paul, go ahead and quickly, briefly introduce yourself, minus the part that you run email agency, because I believe everybody knows that.
Yes. So, hello everyone. Thank you very much, Splash, for having me on. My name is Paul. As you said, I'm from Vienna, Austria, officially representing the tiny amount of Europeans in this course.
Yes, sir.
Just want to preface this. I'm not like some student who's making already 10K a month or something. So, just a small disclaimer. I'm still just a humble student, but I hope this can be a video for maybe all the new members or people who are still noobs in the game to just see, yeah, it is possible to get your first client. I was struggling in the beginning. Yeah, I'll just share my perspective of how I went from somebody starting at zero, having zero connections, just watching like people on Instagram post success stories and not even in my brain being sure that's like real or not. Like, does that actually exist? And now I'm like looking at it from the other side, being inside, and I know, yeah, all of this is real, the numbers are real, and it's just a matter of time for me where I can reach that level of success. And yeah.
Awesome, awesome, man. Yeah, so let's start exactly that, right? Before you were doing the email agency, were you involved in anything different, like a different online journey? I guess let's just even talk about your online journey. How did you get started in this and how did you end up actually, getting into starting an email agency and joining the course?
Well, to be honest, my online journey in general, if you mean that, like I was into self development and that kind of stuff, and I was more coming from the side of socializing and stuff. And then I kind of had that behind me, and I thought, okay, what's next? And I saw like in my time online, following different influencers, being into self development, I always saw these ads and people promoting making money online, and then I just got curious and I thought like, okay, that's the next step and the next area I want to explore. It always, like, since I was a little kid, I always had this desire to work for myself. And I thought, yeah. And I just randomly saw your account on Instagram. I don't know if you were running ads at that time. I checked back today. I messaged you on October the 2nd, 2019. That's where I bought your course. It was like 2 years ago already.
Years ago, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, that's how it all started. I came into the whole thing like kind of like a virgin. I didn't have a phase where I was like watching online marketing on YouTube for a year. I just bought your course and started with that. Like,
Wow. I think there's
I
a
didn't
lesson to that.
know much stuff before that about marketing.
Yeah, I think there's a lesson to that because I get one of the biggest objections I get all the time is like, hey, do I already need to know this? Hey, should I blah blah blah? Hey, I don't have a following like you, this, that, or whatever. But I think those are just excuses people make to not kind of get started. What I do respect about you, and I see you on the group chats. I've known you for, like you said, 2 years. You're always like you're a go getter. Even when it comes to you posting the Pomodoro thing on the chat, or like just trying to get better and such, which I really really respect. Let's talk about when you first started this email journey. First of all, of course, you, like you said, you wanted to work for yourself, do your own thing, make money. What was the frame of mind you went in with when you were starting your email agency, and what was like that early journey like the first couple of months?
The first couple of months inside the course, well, what I also looked up is not only when I joined the course, but when I got my first client. That was
Mhm.
8 months after I first joined the course.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is quick. Like, let's just pause real quick on that. That says a lot about Palm and also a lot about what it takes to be successful because I've had it where people have quit in 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. I don't think they understand that this is like a long-term sustainable thing. It's not just like, okay, I didn't make money, I'm gonna quit. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Yeah, talk to us about those first 8 months when you did not have clients and you're still sticking to this.
To be honest, probably my expectations were different. I thought it was like more of a get rich quick thing than I thought it would be. But I just think I didn't see, like, I don't know. for me, there's never really the option give up on something like that. I don't see like why I would. And I've been probably trained in this mindset because I'm still like in university also at the same time and studying like mechanical engineering, and it's just hours and hours of work, and the reward is so far in the future. Like I think I've just also in school I've always been a student who hated school but tried to get good grades, and I've just from a young age been trained in the mentality of just keep working, and even if the results don't come in, you still keep working.
Right. Well, what were some of the first obstacles you went through when starting your email agency?
Well, the first, as you can see, 8 months to get my first client, it is an obstacle. I was my strategy was in the beginning to just DM accounts on Instagram, and I had my email Instagram account, which had like 10 followers, other people from the course, and I had my personal, which had like 150 or something. And I think I DM'd like 500-600 accounts, maybe in total got 10, 15 even responses, and one or two conversation threads. And I remember like the one person I talked to with most was some girl still in high school who was like selling jewelry on Shopify, like pink store and everything. I was just going back and forth with her, could never close her. And then I just got lucky. Like how I got my first client is I saw one old acquaintance from high school was just posting on their Instagram story, yeah, I have this Shopify store now. And I'm just like, okay, fucking let's text her. And because she knew me personally, there was more trust, and she was more open to starting a conversation, going on that first call and having me work for them. And, I don't know, I thought about it before the call. Everyone who's watching this, they probably cannot relate to that very much because it's really a lucky situation. I just cannot give you the advice. Have a friend from high school start a Shopify store.
Right. Well, what I would say is that the concept of luck, what I believe it is, luck is when opportunity meets preparation, right? So you were prepared for those 8 months,
That's
learning
true.
the skill, getting better, right? So if those 8 months you were bullshitting, not doing, if you didn't have the skill, it didn't matter if she had a store or not. You couldn't do anything to help her, right? So even in those 8 months when you were, not getting those clients, one thing that was good is you were learning the skills, you were getting better, you're actually improving on that. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk now about as you were progressing, what are some key actions or key perspective shifts that you had that really helped you get some kind of success going with your agency, where now you have a couple of clients, you're doing email for people, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah. So I'll be honest. For the longest time, I was just staying with that one client, and I was like, because I had university, also I turned more into an employee of them, and this is going directly against your advice to work on the business instead of in the business. But still, like at the time, maybe in retrospect, that was a mistake. But at the time, my rationale was this, that I was like fully booked with the one client, and I thought like, even if I got a new client, I wouldn't have enough time to really do proper work for them. So I just decided, okay, I'll stay with that one client, really build that relationship, and put in a lot of work here.
Right.
And I did that for a long time. And I learned a lot of other stuff. And I also got into other marketing areas. I started writing YouTube ads. I started building funnels, and a lot of different stuff, and also for other businesses. So it's like, I don't know what kind of lessons someone can take from that, but if you can see it as a mistake, but you can also see it as a lot of learning experiences that happened here.
100%. And I'll be honest, I've been in that position before when I've signed a client, and I would try to do anything to help them. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I want to provide the best service, but there's like a, I don't know the word, but there's like a sweet spot to it, right? Where you want to provide the best service, but you also want to relay your standards, where it's like, hey guys, like, listen, you hired me for this. I'm not
Yeah.
going to do this, that, or whatever. And I think even in the course of different students I've talked to, they've gone through this. And I say like, hey, don't let people take advantage of you. Don't let, don't let, just because they hired you for email, make sure they're not, and you're start. And that's the thing too. When you just start, when you're young, we have this kind of imposter syndrome where we're like, we don't fully believe in ourselves and we think we're supposed to do this. We don't want to lose this client. But setting those standards, I think, as you've learned as you go, is the way to really win. Is because the client respects you more, and also you have more time, right? And I
Yeah.
think that's very, very important.
I think for me, my mistake was never that I was being taken advantage of, because I always got paid for my work. But like, in retrospect, I did some stuff that like didn't build the one skill I want to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
But still, interesting enough, I also learned a lot of other things, like certain techniques that I can use for email marketing that, for example, aren't taught in your course. Maybe I can touch on that later on. Some
Mm-hmm.
stuff, some just small tricks people can use. But yeah, like right now, actually, in this moment, I'm transitioning more into what you were talking about, where I'm like focusing on more clients and being having more boundaries of what kind of work
Right.
I'm willing to do. So just I have like this one client and two new clients in the works where like 90% closed, where I have like access to their Shopify and the emails, but I still need to have the conversation. So yeah.
I feel you. I feel you. Okay, perfect. Let's talk about, let's say, what advice would you give to someone that is just starting this course, that is going through this, based on the obstacles you went through, the journey you went through, and the things you learned? What do you think are some main things they should focus on, and what perspective shifts do you think they should also have?
The biggest step is always getting the first client. And from my story, I cannot tell you, as I said before, I have a friend in high school who has a store. Okay, but what you can take away from that is what is the difference between knowing some person and texting a random person on Instagram? It's a
Right.
personal connection and increased amount of trust. So how can you use that principle even if you don't have that lucky connection? What you
Mhm.
can do is, I think, maybe shift your perspective. Maybe you're only thinking Facebook outreach, Instagram outreach. Maybe like, why don't you go to local meetups in your city where you can actually talk to people face to face, like
Mhm.
marketing meetups? So why don't you, for example, how I met my second client is I met him in a forum. Like, why don't you join forums where you build actual real relationships with people,
Mhm.
and then like closing them on a store comes second, because
Right.
like nowadays there's a lot of like online influencers who, mostly in the self-development niche, is probably the best place to go, literally they have a Discord with like hundreds of people inside, and the main purpose of the Discord is just to be surrounded by people who want to improve
Mhm.
themselves. And like,
Right.
if you actually go to such a place and become an influencer in that space, because can have like, you can be on Instagram, build a profile on Instagram, on Twitter, and you need to like create a community that is placed in the whole on all of Instagram. Like, that's your community. But if you go to like some Discord where some guys talking about self development, and you have like 200 to 500 people inside there, and you post regularly, people will start recognizing you as a person, and you will have the same effect on them as you'd have as a big influencer on Instagram. So your effect on people will be much higher. And then
Now,
it's just like, and then you just share about how you're doing email marketing, how you're doing this, and you will find people easily who have stores, and you can start working with them because they've known you as a person first, and secondly as someone trying to sell them a service.
yeah, that's a huge point because everybody, as you know, DMs people for asking for something, right? I mean, even my DMs now, especially with the bots, they're flooded. So people don't want to work like, you don't go up to a girl and ask for a kiss right away, or you say, hey, let's have sex together right away, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like that. You got to get to know them. You genuinely gain trust, right? For anyone to work with you, they have to know you, they like you, and trust you. And that just can't happen right straight off the bat. If you're like, hey, I do emails, let me do it for you, right?
Yeah.
You're not building those three things. Like, okay, they know you, but they don't like you actually because you just bothered them and you're just asking for something. And then there's no trust. Like, so what you said is so facts, right? And I even on the other point of networking, I am so huge on this now, and I think you know this as well. In some of the live calls I've been talking about the importance of networking and talking to people, because as you know, the opportunities come from people. Like you can't print money. You're not the Fed. You can only get money from people, exchange money, right? So,
Yeah.
so in a sense, like that is such a key part of you being open to meeting people and networking with people. And same like you said, right? You knowing someone, and then them having this problem or them having this thing like where it was an opportunity for you and you were prepared. It became true because of that, right? Because you knew this person, right? It wasn't
Yeah.
like that. The networking is so key, and I think that that's something that you touched on that I really like.
Yeah, and just to clarify, the main point here is I think to find some forum or small community, because if you just post on Instagram and Twitter at the beginning, that just all of that dissipates into the void.
Yeah,
Nobody's even reading your
noise,
content.
it's just noise.
Yeah, it's just noise. But if you have a community, like if you have some Discord, you just join, you pay 5, 10, $50 a month. The more expensive it is, the more high quality people you have. And then you have a ready-made community and audience ready. Someone else built an audience, and you can just post in that forum and use their audience.
One of the questions I had for you is like, what is the difference or the change in mindset that you've had when it comes to when you started this business, and then now that you're actually running this business and you're actively in it, like what is the perspective shifts, right? Because I remember, I know one of them is like, okay, money, get rich quick. How was that? What is your focus now, or how do you look at this business, versus how you started it?
Right now, just a couple of days ago, I got my first employee. That wasn't some huge mindset shift or anything happening. That was just, I got too many offers that I could work on with my own time. And I felt like it was my duty to take those opportunities. Like, I didn't feel like at a point where I'm like saying, oh no, I'm too good for that opportunity. I'm still like in the phase where I want to take every opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's my duty to actually do proper work for them. And I had no other option. And it's like, it wasn't really that mindset shift. I was just forced into being more proactive. And then, like, I had a call. Some guy asked me, hey, do you want to do emails for my store? Who's like, I checked, he's like doing 6 figures. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then he asked, like, when do you think it can be done? I'm like, in 7 days, man. Like, and my week was fully booked already. I thought, like, fuck, what am I supposed to do now? I don't have time, but I need to get this done because otherwise my reputation is crushed. And so I thought, like, okay, fuck it, I need my first employee. I just went into some random guys, some random influencers, Epoch Rising plug, Telegram. I just texted like a message, 10 minutes, not even thinking about it. I just wrote what I'm doing, what I'm looking for, what kind of qualities in a person. I literally told them in the beginning, you're not getting paid because I need to see if you have good work ethic. And two guys responded. One guy hopped on a call with me the same day, and the next day he's working for me.
Wow.
That's it. I had 7 days to get the job done. Day one was finding my employee, and the rest is like teaching him how to do emails. And yeah.
Right. Now you're treating this more like a business rather than this is something I'm saying like, oh, this is money making, whatever. Like, I think that's the frame of mind that everybody through experience has to have, where it's like, okay, it's a business. It's not just some like money thing short term, like it's a longevity thing, you know what I mean? What are some plans for you long term? Q4 2021 is here, 2022 is coming up. What are some plans for Paul Mango? Share with us.
Yeah, man, my plans is I have like 2 clients in the making, which like one client, it sucks a bit. I literally need to set up his Shopify store first. But the other client, as I said, is selling sneakers, making good revenue already. My first client is selling jewelry, and I'm just,
growing it,
just cashing in on that Black Friday money.
Let's go. That's awesome. Yeah. For all the people that want to reach out to you or find you, do you have Instagram? Do you have anything that you want to shout out?
Shout out. I have a Twitter.
Ooh, banger.
like it's not about business or it's mostly just offensive. It's just memes.
No. I don't mind, man. Don't worry. I'll just make sure to not retweet any wild stuff you post.
It's at Michael Gaudi. So Michael
Mhm.
Gaudi. I follow you.
Oh
So
yeah, I see it. Boom. There you
yeah.
go. Lovely, lovely. Awesome, brother. Thank you so much for taking time to get on this call, man. Really, really appreciate you. And just getting on and talking about it. You were one of the first people to join the course. So just always seeing the progression from, where you were to where you are now and where you're gonna go. And just even just some of the chats we've had, even on Discord, Telegram, or whatever. I'm very proud
Yeah.
of you, man. And truly I'm excited to see what more you do for sure.
Yes. Thank you very much.
All right. Have a great day.
Peace.
Bye.